Ukraine's ambassador to Britain told Sky News that his country wants to join the European Union and NATO, both moves opposed by Russia.
So for clarity, is the Ukraine's current position that it would like to join the EU and also at some stage NATO?
Absolutely. That's what we made clear 8 years ago, and that's why Russians came. And it did not change our resolve even in an inch.
But do you essentially believe that when it comes to the final decision, Vladimir Putin and against the West, that the West has the stomach, to face down Putin?
I believe it's getting there. If you look at all these years, 7+ years, when we start asking people to help us with some military equipment to defend ourselves, we couldn't even start this negotiation. After 7 years, we already have seen the doors opened. UK, United States, some other nations are coming openly to send us weapons, which is not important only as a military step, but is a political step. The political stance they are showing Russians, you know what? We understood it. After all these years, you killed so many of the Ukrainians, 13,500. It's not minor incursion anymore. This is war. If you can step down, please do it. That's still a chance for that.
What do Ukrainians really feel about this? If the diplomatic channels fail, and that there is an invasion, what will the Ukraine do?
We have nowhere to go. I mean, we corner it in our own biggest land in Europe, but still that's enough for us, and we are not inviting them to we will fight to death, unfortunately. So many people of our nation will probably die, but we will try to get to that world as many Russians as they come. I still hope that this is just threats as of now. Russians might change their mind, especially Putin. Who knows what he's had? He might want to, regain the Soviet Union. By the way, it's 100th anniversary of formal formation of Soviet Union this year. He might come to this particular date. I love it very much. But I believe that West will, with each and every step, West will, stiffen the spine and will come to our citizens. But we're not relying to it much. We are preparing ourselves.
Arise U.S. correspondent Rotimi Kade joins us for more now. Good afternoon, Rotimi. President Biden, it's very obvious that he's very worried about this crisis in Ukraine. Can you give us an update on the latest?
All right, thank you. I think, first of all, yes, the president is very, very worried about what the likely outcome will be in the next few hours. Should the Russian threats, is anything to go by, should they, fulfill some of their so-called obligations in invading Ukraine, there will be a catastrophic effect on the Ukrainians, and of course the losses that would ensue afterwards. But more worrying is for the fact that Putin has been given a more or less like a lifeline before going into Ukraine, and the world leaders, especially Biden, obviously will have no other option than to hit Russia with a more devastating sanctions that have never been seen before, and also that affect Russian economy in the long term and also in the short term. But I think more concerning also is the fact the unnecessary war that Ukrainians have to face just because they want to be a sovereign nation. They don't want to be. They don't want to be being monitored or being told what to do by Russia in terms of what organizations they want to join. Which, of course, one of the criteria of Russia in terms of preventing Ukraine from joining NATO and some other, demands from Russia. But so, in the nutshell, I think what the Biden administration is looking at is seeing the possibility of having a sort of a diplomatic, path to resolving this issue.
And U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken has rebuffed calls to immediately impose economic sanctions on Russia. Why is this, Rotimi?
Well, according to him, he said that if the sanction is triggered now, it may lose the deterrence. It means that Russia may also have excuse to actually invade Ukraine. Russia may say that the sanction actually provoked it's from advancing into Ukraine, and I think what the U.S. government is trying to do is to see having many cards on the table to make sure that this war that is ensuing is resolved amicably. And I think that's the reason why Blinken said, "Well, we're not going to put that forward." We've had high-level discussions with senior officials like the Foreign Minister of Russia, Sergei Lavrov, on what the U.S. intend to do, and was very firm about U.S. intention on ensuring that if Russia take a step, there will be 2 or 3 steps that the U.S. and its allies will take should Russia have decide to go the path that is not agreeable. And I think that's what this sanction is really what the Blinken is trying to explain, that there's absolutely it's not necessary right now to put those sanctions before Russia's invasion.
All right, then, Arise US correspondent Rotimi Kade bringing us up to speed on the latest developments. Many thanks indeed.